Hello. Imagine you are asked to guide a new cloud or DevOps engineer on how to deploy a web application using Azure Kubernetes Service. So how are we going to do that? So let's just get right into it. So that means we need to create a Docker image, right? Push it. So we are going to be using um, Azure Container Registry, right? So we're going to push the image to Azure Container Registry. And Azure Container Registry is just like Docker Hub, where you can store your Docker image, right? And then from the Azure Container Registry, we are going to um, deploy, we are going to pull the image that is sitting in Azure Container Registry and use that image to deploy our application in Azure using Azure Kubernetes Service, because we have to create a cluster, right, in Azure using Azure Kubernetes Service. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to use the Cloud Shell, right? So if I come Cloud Shell, I just click on Cloud Shell. And the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to download the file, the folder, right, that contains the application and the Docker file and all that. So I'm going to, do that. I'm going to download that. So let me get it. So here is it. Click on enter. It's downloading, and then that's it. That's the name. Then it's a zip file. I have to unzip it, right? So I'll just type unzip, then that's the file there. To copy it correctly. Paste. Okay. So you see these are the files, and all that. So now the next thing is that I need to create a resource group, right? And in Azure, a resource group is basically a logical container that holds related resources for an application, right? So, for example, if you create a virtual machine in a region, you create a, a storage account in a region, you create a database in a region, the same region, the resource group will kind of put everything in like a container, right? Showing that, oh, all these resources were created in this region. So it's kind of like a logical container. So let's create this resource group in the region US, um, East US, right? So that's the region, that's the location that I want to create. Let me clear. Let me increase this. Okay, so I'm going to paste. So this is the name of the resource group, right? This TCB-vote, and then the location will be East US. So click on enter. So it's going to create the resource group. So yeah, so this is it. It has been created. See that succeeded. And then the next thing is that I'm going to create Azure Container Registry. Like I said, right, that's like Docker Hub that will help to store our Docker image, right? So I'm going to create that. I'm going to use this command. So, and I'm using Azure CLI, right? If you observe, because if you look at, I'm using AZ, right? AZ. So that AZ there is like, the command to use Azure CLI. So, this is a command to create Azure Container Registry. The ACR there, is Azure Container Registry, right? So the resource group is the one that I just created, which is this TCB vote, right? And then the name of my Azure Container Registry will be Segun Ofe ACR. And then the stock keeping unit is I'm just going to use basic, right? So I'll enter. So it's going to create that. So okay. So let's see. So if I go to, okay, let's see. So I think it has been created. Hmm. Let's see. For the name. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Shegun Ofe. Um, yeah, that's the name. This is the name. Yeah, sorry. This is the name. Yeah. So that has been created, right? That has been created, and we can quickly go to container registry to see that container registries. So let's go to container registries, and this is it, right? So this is it. So if I click on it now, you'll see that there's nothing. Let me come to repositories. I come to click on services and repository. So currently there's no repository there, right? So, but once we create a Docker image and push it there, you will see it, you will find it there. So, okay, so that's good. You're making good progress. So the next thing we have to do now is we want to we want Cloud Shell to be authenticated, right, to ACR so that we can push our Docker image, right? Once we create the Docker image, so that we can push the Docker image, to ACR, which is Azure Container Registry successful. So since the Docker image will be created from the Docker file, right? So the Docker file is, we already, we downloaded, let me do ls here. So we downloaded, so if I do cd to tcd voting, so inside this now, if I do ls, so we have, different, if I do cd to tcb vote, so let me do ls. So you see the Docker file, right? So this is the Docker file. So since the Docker file we will use this Docker file to create our Docker image, right? So we need to authenticate this Cloud Shell with our what's it called? ACR, Azure Container Registry. So to do that, I'm going to log in to my ACR and get a token, right? So to do that, I'm just going to use this CLI command, right? This AZ login, command, and then I'm going to put the name. I'm going to put the name of my Azure Container Registry, right? The registry. So let me clear. Let me clear. Then let me do cd dash dash cd dash dash. Okay. So paste. So it's going to give me a token. So that token, I have to copy it. Okay. So I have to copy this token, right? Copy this and this one. So let me copy it to a notepad. Copy it carefully. Copy. Then I'll copy notepad. Paste. And then for this one, I really don't need this one. So that token, so I'll copy that, copy this one also, copy, then I'll come down, then paste. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to replace, so for a particular CLI command, right? I'm going to replace so let me see. So so now I want to use this token to log into Azure registry. I mean sorry, not Azure, Docker, right? So because I have this Docker command, right? So let me see, let me just copy it here. So will paste it, but I will edit it later. So I have this, so I have to put in the token, this token here, right? In my ACRO name, which is this Segun Ofe ACRO. I have to put it in here, right? So I have to put that there, and then I will edit it. I will delete this. I will delete this, edit it, and then I will paste it back. Paste it back. Okay, so now I'm going to copy the edited command with including the token and the login server. Copy, and then I'll paste it here. So this is it. This is the Docker login. Then this is the login server, which is this, right? So this is it here. And this access token, this one here. So this is it here. So once I copy, and then I'll hit enter. So login successful, right? So next, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the Docker image from the Docker file, right? And one thing we need to note is that we need to go inside the folder where the Docker file is. So TCB protein -app. So I'll go inside, I'll do ls, then I'll go inside this TCB vote. cd TCB vote. Okay, so let me do ls. So you see the Docker file is here. So this is exactly where I need to be able to create the Docker image. So I'm going to use this command, ACRO. So because what I want to do is that I want to create the Docker image and push it to the Azure Container Registry. So let me paste. So you see ACRO build image. So the name of the image is going to be TCB vote. Then the name of the registry that I want to push it into this registry, and then it's going to, the file is a Docker file, right? So it's a Docker file. Going to, yeah. So let's click enter. Okay, let's see. Waiting for an agent, downloading source code. Okay, it's running. Okay, so that's going well. That's going well. Okay, pull complete, download complete. Okay, so pull complete. And once everything is done, we are going to come back to our ACRO to see. So let's see, let's just wait. Still running. We're going to come back to our Azure Container Registry to see if the image is there. Because this is our registry. Currently, there's nothing there. So it's still running, still going. So I'm just going to pause the video. Okay, so it was successful, right? So now let's go back to see the image. So let's go back to our, what's it called? I'm going to refresh ACR, which is Azure Container Registry. I'm going to refresh, reload, and then we'll see that the image is there now. Okay, so that's it. That's the latest version of the image. That's it. So yeah, so that's it. That's it. And in fact, if we want to pull, right, maybe we want to pull, it's giving us the command, right? But we don't want to do that. So that's it. Yeah. So the image is there. Let's just go back. Yeah. So that's it. Okay. Let me click on this. Come up again. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do now is to create the Azure Kubernetes, the cluster, right? Using the Azure Kubernetes service. So we are going to use the CLI command again. AKS is Azure Kubernetes Service create. So and we are going to be using the resource group, and also we'll give the name. So this is the command for that. So make sure that to be in the right place, I have to create it. Just to be sure. Okay. So I have to go inside. I have to go inside the ls cd tcb routine app, then ls. I have to go inside this folder cd tcb vote. Okay, so inside this folder now, I will create the the cluster, right? So paste. So this is the command, right? So AKS create, and the resource group. This is the name of the resource group, TCB vote, and this is the name of the cluster, right? And then the number of node, right? You know, inside a cluster you have node, right? So the number of node is just one, and then we are going to generate SSH key. So I will hit enter. Okay, so this might take a while. Just going to take a short break while it's running. So the cluster has been created, right? So the cluster has been created. We're going to come to AKS. Then we come to Kubernetes service, and then this is it, right? This is it. See the resource group, right? The I think this should be the version, and the location East US. So if I click inside, you know, if I just come to so this is inside the cluster now. So see, yeah, if I click on Kubernetes resource, come to workload, see all that just created, namespace, you have all that storage. There's nothing there. And yeah, so let's see, just yeah. So that's it. So we've not deployed our application inside yet, right? So the next thing we have to do is to associate the ACR, the Azure Container Registry. That is where our Docker image is. Associate that with the Kubernetes cluster, right? So that the Kubernetes cluster can download the image from the ACR. So I'm going to use this CLI command, copy, and then I'll paste. Okay. Okay. So we are going to get the credentials now using this command, right? This is the name of the cluster. This is the name of the resource group, right? And this is the command AKS get credentials, right? So enter. Okay. Okay. In this. Okay. And then the next thing we are going to do is let's just so let me come back to the let me come back to my cluster. This is my cluster, right? So if I click on node pool, let me click on that. Let me click on that. So we just have only one node, right? Just have only one node. So let me see. So scale up. So I think from here you can see if probably one wants to scale up, want to scale up due to requests, you know, if one want to scale up. So come back to node pool, right? So scale method manual, you know, yeah. So yeah, so everything looks good. Everything looks good so far. So let's just test this. Um, so I'm going to use the kubectl command to just get the node from here. Mm, mm, okay. So let me clear. So kubectl command, that's it. So get nodes. Okay. So that's the nodes. Okay. So now the next thing is that I need to edit I want to do the deployment, right, to my Azure Kubernetes, the cluster, right? So, but I need to edit the YAML file. So I'll do cd dot dot. So let me do ls. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the YAML file. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this YAML file, right? So I'm going to open the YAML file. So let me see. Let me go back. Let me open the YAML file vi copy paste. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a change. So let me come escape I. So I'm going to make a change here. So you have the kind. The kind is the deployment, right? That's the like the object that I want to create is deployment. So you have it here, deployment, and then we have replicas just one. This is this specification, the spec, right? So let's see. Um, in the selector. So this. So not this one, not this one. Um, yeah. So this one. So we want to update. So this is the Docker. If you look at these containers, right? Right. So I'm going to update this, right? So I'm going to update this with my own, um, you know, my own container registry, the name of my own. So let me come to my own container registry. Let me do container registry, open in a new tab. So we'll get my own. Let me just do container registry here. Connection error refresh. Okay. Leave. So there's no internet. You must have an internet access to Azure. I have internet access. Internet. Check your connection refresh. Oh, I don't know. Something happened. But anyways, so we are just going to go back. So I'll come back to Cloud Shell. I'll do ls. And then I'll do cd to tcb button. So let me do ls. So this is where I am, right? This is where I am. So let me fill all this. Yeah. And then registries. So come here, I click on this, repositories, I click on this, then if I click on this one, so this exactly what I need, right? This is exactly what I need. So I'm going to copy it and come back to my vi tcb votes plus redis.yaml. Okay, enter. If this is the case, be careful not to end up two different instances. The swap file by name, this, owned by this, dated this, modification no. Okay. And editing session, please may crash. Okay, it's okay. Let me see. Okay. So let me escape I to, so I want to, edit this part here. This part. This is what I want to edit. So I'm going to use what I have here. So let me I will just change Shegun Ofe. I will just put Shegun Ofe ACR because every other thing is the same. Right? ACR. Okay, let me just have to be careful. So that's just be careful to the right one. No, not this one. This one, I think to pull it from the Docker hub, from the registry in Docker hub. So we don't need to. So we have this. Okay. So not this one. I think it's gonna be Shegun ACR. Okay, just to make sure. Okay, so let me just copy this. Just gonna copy all this. Copy. Then I'm going to replace it. So, so yeah, so that's it. That's the only change I'm going to make. And just ensure that this is aligned well. Okay. And for the other container, which is for the Redis database, that one is fine because it's just going to copy the image. I mean, use the image that is already in Docker Hub, already in this, you know, registry in Docker Hub. Right. So I think everything looks good. Just gonna save, escape, long, X, enter. Okay. Escape I, okay. Then escape, colon X, override. Oh, add this to override. Escape, colon X. Okay. So I'm going to open it again that, just to make sure. So I'm going to do VI. Okay. Just to make sure. Escape I, just to make sure that was affected correctly. Okay, that was affected correctly. Okay, so escape colon X. Okay, so so yeah, so we are making good progress. Making good progress. So the next thing we need to do is to deploy it, right? Is to deploy it. So once we deploy it, then our application will be up and running. So we are going to do kubectl. So we are going to do kubectl apply, then kubectl apply, then -f for file. Then we'll put the name of the YAML file, which is tcb loads plus redis.yaml. Okay, so let's hit enter. Oh, great. Deployment created service. So let's see. It says error, passing TCB, correct. Okay, so it says line 25 found a tag character that violates indentation. Okay, so let me go back to my line 25, right? Well, let me see line 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So line 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 23, 24, 25. So this line, so I'm not right. Fix this. So everything looks good. Um, Everything looks good, but yeah. So let me come back. Let me do escape X. So I try it again. You say so it's having error with it's having error. Say violates indentation. Yeah. Then yeah. So but it was able to from here we can see that it's the deployment for the back end, right? For the back end was created, the service was created. I think the challenge was the one for the front end. So, and if we come to the Kubernetes service, please if we look at the deployment, right? See the one for the back, right? TCP vote back, you know. So see that. So yeah. So let me even just try. Let me see if the application will come up. Maybe I don't think so. Don't think so. Because the one for the front end is was not successfully deployed. Well, so that's just it. So I think once everything um once we're able to fix everything and ensure that it works correctly, we'll just so let's just assume everything worked well. The next thing to do is to do the kubectl to get the public IP address, get service, and watch. So I think the solution for this might be to just uh, copy the code, delete it, copy the configuration in this YAML file, and maybe try to find the indentation problem, maybe using like ChatGPT, just paste it there, and and actually delete this from the folder where it is and create it again. So I think that might be the solution. So, but if I do this, so it's going to only give me the public, it's not giving me an external IP address. So let me see if it will give me an external IP address. So it's like it's still, yeah. So let's just wait, see if it's going to give us something. Okay, so I think that's just it. So if everything ran well, it will have given us a an external IP address. I think that will be associated to the front end, right? So, and then we can use the external IP address to um to access the application. So let me just see. Mm. So, let me just try to see if I can quickly troubleshoot. Okay, I have some time. So let's this is the name, copy the name, pin, paste it somewhere. So we'll do AI name, everything.